Okay friends, so thought I'd make this video because I had very little help in figuring out how to put this aftermarket air filter on that I picked up from eBay. A lot of guys are using these on their bikes. This is a 2008 Yamaha vstar 1100cc custom. Let's see. So anyways, I'm going to try to do this as thoroughly as I can. I've taken the air filter off. Anyways, to start with, you got to remove your whole air can that's right all up in here, the big, chrome OEM air filter. Take that whole show off so you can get back to your inlet right there. All right, that's what you want. Now this kit comes with this this bracket, so that makes it easy. And on my 2008 1100 custom, what I found was that putting this bracket on with the long edge up under here where the bracket comes out and bolts into where the grommet is for the factory, the OEM air can, the bracket is not, it's not even on both sides. You've got a longer slant, more of an like a 45-degree angle, for lack of a better term. I don't know what the fucking degree is, but anyways, I put that long edge here, and then back here, you may not be able to see it, but back here, oh, there it is. I took that grommet out. It's the grommet that the OEM can just pushes into with the little plastic nipple. I don't have that air can out to show you, but anyways, I took that grommet out and I threw the nylon locking nut on the back of that. Also, this was pretty key. Notice here, I found it easier to run the bracket behind this part, this black part. You can see my bracket goes back here behind it, and I just threw another nylock nut on the back of it here. And same thing back here. This bracket goes behind. Let's see if I can get it. It goes behind that piece of the bracket that that's on the motorcycle. Okay, so after struggling with this thing, trying to put it together, trying to piece this thing together, this is the easiest way I found to do it. Loosely install your bracket first. Put your bolts through here. Try what I did. It helped me immensely, and after that, the process just went crazy fast. Okay, so put your bracket behind this part here, this little black piece of the bracket that comes down. Also, at the far end of the bracket. Once you got that, now you can push. Okay, so this part right here that plugs into your rubber inlet, right over here is this screw for the clamp. The lighting on this thing sucks because it's not even going to focus. Anyways, you know what a pipe clamp looks like, a hose clamp. So loosen this hose clamp up pretty much all the way. You can see mine is cracked right there. My hose right there is cracked. But the reason why I say loosen it up all the way is because you want to be able to wiggle this thing in there as far as you can. So give yourself enough slack on that rubber inlet. Get that sucker in there as far as you can. This inlet that comes with the kit is not very long. It doesn't go deep into this, your air hose here. It does not go deep in there at all. You really got to push it in there as far as you possibly can, and then tighten this screw here. I had to use one of them little 90-degree screwdriver jobs. Anyways, get that sucker in there all the way tight. And once you're in there tight, I mean, that's it. That's the end of your problems. For this right here, there's a little screw hole that was used with the I'm talking about this bolt right here. Little screw hole that's used for the OEM air can. If I'm not mistaken. Oh, you know what? I might be crazy right there. I'm not for sure. Anyways, your air inlet part right here, don't be fooled. The shiniest side does not face outside, and I don't know if you can see this. This bike is filthy because I've been working on it instead of riding it. So anyways, the shiniest part of the piece that goes into your rubber air inlet, that's going to actually face your engine. That's going to face your bike. It's more the duller part that will be facing out, but that's all right, because you're going to have your spike coming out of this anyways. You're not going to see this duller chrome. Anyways, bolt this down solid to the bracket here, right? And you'll see it's going to line up, no big deal. Now here you got these two screws. One of these screws is longer than the other. Now they're flatheads, which use these kind of, these hex Allen keys. So anyways, the longer of the two, and you'll see that this cosmetic piece right here that you'll see after the air can is installed, after your filter's installed, is this cosmetic piece there. These holes for these two screws right here are concave, so they allow for these two screws in here. Now this one is the longer of the two screws. You're going to see two of these screws here. This one is the longer of the two, and it just goes, let's see if I can see it. I hate doing videos. Okay, so it's just going to come out right here. There's your screw. That's the longer of the two. You're only left with one more flathead screw that will go right into this concave hole. Slap that sucker on there, tighten them up, and then after that, all you've got left are these 4 screws. They are hex head also. And let's see, they're just going to line up, or they're just going to get your air can or your air filter just like that right there. Put the tops in first so she'll hold. If you put the bottoms in and turn loose of this thing, it might come out here and then probably strip out your bottom screws. So put your top 2 in there first. I would recommend a little bit of Loctite. You don't need a gasket on this. I mean, look how it works. Now there was one guy on YouTube who said, I think maybe it was a different model, so he got a slightly different kit, but he had a gasket, it looked like, or maybe he had made a gasket out of cardboard or whatever it was. I wasn't really paying too much attention when I watched that video. Anyways, you don't need a gasket here. Your air is going to come into your filter there and just pipe right into your air intake right there. So right here, throw those 4 bolts right there, or 4 little screws right there and there. Do the top 2 first, and you're in like Flynn. This is not a K&N filter, and as of today, so far as I know, K&N does not make the filters that the seller on eBay says fit this air filter. They don't make them. I guess they got out of the spike business. There was one guy I saw on one of the forums who said that some other dude was selling them and K&N wasn't selling them anymore because the other guy had exclusive rights to them. So I guess for a while K&N was making them, giving them to him, and he was selling them all. But they're done with that. So I mean, unless you got a box of them, or unless you got one, you're not going to get a K&N filter. You just, go down and get yourself a spray can of filter oil. K&N filter oil is just as good. Keep this sucker clean, and it'll last you. Hell, it'll last you until your wife makes you stop riding motorcycles. So, let's see. What else? I guess I'm going to put this thing back together and head back in the house, because I am whooped. Anyways, I hope that helps. Make sure this little piece here that comes in the kit, make sure that sucker is smashed into your air intake. You don't want any gaps. You don't have to make any filter or any gaskets or anything like that. This kit, believe it or not, it does go together, and the key is to get this bracket on. Again, I put mine on the back side at both ends of the bracket. Where I mounted it to the bike, I mounted it to the backward, or to the back side of the available holes. And also remember, I said that I removed the grommet, that rubber grommet that was here for the OEM airbox there. Not the airbox under the tank, but obviously, but the OEM air filter here, I took that grommet off. It just made it easier. Don't be afraid to use your own freaking bolts either, and don't trip on whether or not you've got extra parts, because these filter setups, they work on various models of bikes, various years, various models of bikes. This is a 2008 vstar 1100 custom. I'm doing a little bit of work on it. Anyways, y'all don't care about that. You wanted to know about this air filter, so now you know how I did it. And don't forget this right here. That is going to be absolutely key, because this is the largest bolt that you've got, I believe. Well, it may not be. Anyways, you should have, let me see, 2 screws. These 2 screws here, they are the only ones that secure this cosmetic part and your air intake. Well, the part of the kit that comes with the air intake. These 2 screws are the only 2 that actually mount that whole thing to your bracket, and your bracket is, it's mounted to the bike at both ends. Get that sucker in there, in your air intake all the way. Tighten that sucker down at the screw here, and you should be in business. Once again, this and this are your 2 flathead screws that go into these concave or recessed holes in this outer plate right here. This is your longer one, that's the shorter one, and And that's it, guys. Have a blast. Ride safe.